Hi, Joe. How are you? Yeah, I am, Joe. I always turn on my camera when somebody calls from a private number. Do you mind? Okay. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Um, yeah, the I don't know if you can see, the stories out there in bits and pieces. What's been going on is that there's a young Hispanic kid and a black drummer. The Hispanic kid plays an electric guitar and the drummer, and they're thugs. If I'm playing down in the tunnel, they just set up and start playing. Like 10 feet away from me, kind of shit. And it's been going on for a while. And a few weeks ago, he did it again. I'd set up. I'd been there about half hour. I was just starting to make money, and the fucker sets up and starts playing. And I can't really do anything about that because there's no regulation. In most places, the buskers, it's first come, first serve, and everybody gives each other space. And these guys just come down there. I'm going to play down here in that tunnel. I'm going to play down here, and if you don't like it, tough. And that's just jive, but there's no regulation. The cops can't do anything about it because, it's a public space. And they haven't done anything except make noise too close to me. So, a couple of weeks ago, we had an incident, and the cops told him nobody can play down there. So, Friday week, I forget exactly, on the 9th, I come out around the corner to my second spot, which is a telephone switching box in front of a parking lot between the tunnel and the first bar. And I come around the corner, and the fucker's setting up there. And so I popped him. I elbowed him in the head as I went by. And he come up behind me and slammed his guitar in my head and then hit me real hard. He butted me with the guitar in the head and then hit me real hard across the back of the legs. And it bruised. It bruised real bad, and a deep bruise, and it's not healing. And I thought it was a blood clot because, yeah, well, the hormones increase my risk. And, huh? Well, yeah, right behind the knee is a very common place for it. Um, and the but everything was cool. Everything was totally cool. My heart and lungs were really fucking strong. That cough is all upper respiratory. That's all bronchi and trachea. I'm careful about how I smoke, and that's where all the damage is from it. Um, and that's a lot of dust too. It's moving a lot. My throat and that, I have to move a lot of dust on top of the cigarettes. Uh, and so anyway, they had me hooked up, and I got so relaxed that the alarm went off, and because I wasn't hardly breathing, and my heart wasn't beating very fast. And well, that's cool. You'd go into, it's a wonderful state, mental state to be in, and it's very, very healing for your body. These guys are idiots. Yeah, I got no teeth. I fucked up my teeth, but the rest of me is in real good shape. Um, I'm a little overweight because of I'm about 40 pounds overweight because of the depression. I have a real hard time doing anything besides sitting at my desk, fucking around on the internet, or laying in my bed. I really have to push myself hard to do anything else, and so I'm not getting enough exercise. Um, but otherwise, I'm in real good shape. Oh yeah, yeah, and my insurance totally covered the transportation. They paid for the ambulance ride out and the taxi back. Well, you know, I appreciate, huh? Well, well, it's, you know, I got real serious financial problems, but I don't want to see nothing from you. You're of all them people, you're the most sincere and the least able to afford it. Well, yeah, but you're not a mean. You're not vicious. You're just a right-wing nut job. You know, you're not mean. You don't. You know, some of these people are really fucking ugly, nasty, vicious people. That bucket. Do you know? Do you know? You know, because I'm naming you as a witness, man. Do you know these people's real names? I won't press you for it now, but yes or no, do you know these people's true names? Right. So you're not certain about any of these other idiots. Well, Doc Douchebag, I'm told that Doc Douchebag's name is Jimmy Webster, that he's a New York Police Department officer who was retired early for a bad shooting. That's the intelligence I have on him. Michael Carter is Mike R. in Atlanta. John Tate is N. Mature in, Carter is in El Paso. N. Mature is in Atlanta. The Bucketeer is Tom Madera. Now, I don't know what he uses at AMB, if he uses anything at all. So you're saying that the only one that you actually know anything real on is Addy. Do you know if he's still at? Do you know if he's still at that? It's Trail Place, I think 500 Trail Place in Frederick. No, I don't believe he's there. I need a real address to serve him, and he's going to get served soon, real soon. I mean, I emailed you at some point a Florida address, which was the last address you had given me for whatever reason. That was the last I had. That was a while ago. I emailed it to you. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, well, huh. I've been in the hospital myself for a couple of weeks. We'll do what? I don't need to get into it, but it was a painful condition, let's just say. Are we better now? Yeah, it's mostly better. I still got nurses coming to the house to check on me. It's much better than it was. What kind of prognosis are you looking at these days? The doctors don't want to tell me. I mean, realistically, I don't know. They will say there's hope of walking again, but I think they say that to make my mom happy. Do they at least pay for this? I mean, they're the ones that hurt you in the first place. Are you at least got... Oh, jeez. Well, that's pretty much where it's been with me for the last 17 years. That's why I haven't filed anything, because there's nothing really to file on. The lawyers won't touch anything that doesn't have an insurance company to go after. The law enforcement, I'm hamstrung with them because the local guys have no jurisdiction, and the feds won't touch it because it's not nobody's been harmed enough. That's why I'm going as a class against them under Title 42, because I mean I've got dozens of people that I'm signing up that are in the same similar situation where they're organized cyber bullies, and the law enforcement won't do a damn thing about it. So I'm coming at them with a class matter, saying, hey, look, there's people online that are trying to conduct their life business online that are being completely prevented from doing it effectively because of all these sociopathic trolls ganging up on them. And that's the lawsuit. I'm not coming after any individuals, except for Addie. Fucker sitting there bragging about making money off of my property. Well, I know, that's what's so ridiculous. That is what's so ridiculous. Because what he's saying and what's really happening are so fucking actionable as intent. You know, even if it was true, you understand that that's not legal, and I'd fucking tear him up in a courtroom on it. But the way it's being played, it's actionable as invasion of privacy and intentional infliction of emotional distress. And they give big fucking awards for that shit. No, I'm not either, but I've spoken to a lot of lawyers about this, and I've studied it a lot. I said, I'm going to get him for millions of dollars for what he did, or what he's doing. The fucker when the shit was flying at your place, you know, what went down is I was at Thoughts, and I got run out of Thoughts to that socially unacceptable bullshit. He ran me into your place. I was trapped in there because he locked me out of his. And I'm sitting there with all those fucking rednecks eating me up every day. And so here comes Addie and Mike giving me this, you know, stroking me, telling me how you know, what a safe harbor it's going to be at A and B, and they don't let that shit happen, and yada, yada, yada. So... And you know, they're, you know, excuse me, but I'm an arts management consultant. People pay me for my time. People give me money for entertaining them. Free will. Pull it out of their fucking pocket and hand me a $100 bill. Without me asking. I have a case against that motherfucker. $1,500 a quarter. I've been asking for it for 4 years. And you're a witness. You have witnessed it repeatedly. I am an artist and an educator. I have a good reputation as an artist and an educator for an indie artist. Global. And they're trying to destroy it. And you've witnessed it for 5 years now, man. I've been struggling back from a betrayal from my family, and they have been doing nothing but trying to keep me down in the gutter. Fuck no. My father is incapable of admitting fault. That's what's going on. I've tried to forgive him. You know, I've tried to, you know, be a member of his family all along. And he just makes it impossible. He's My brother and sister and mother have themselves conditioned not to pay any attention to it. They just tune him out when he starts talking that crazy shit that he talks. About himself and about everything else, and I tried for years, and when I came out, what it came down to was like, hey, look, this is what happened. This is the way society was. Let's say okay, and just like put it in the past. But he can't admit that he did anything wrong in the past. He doesn't admit to being abusive at all. Oh yeah, I spanked you kids a little bit. He doesn't admit to any more than that. He spanked us excessively. And especially me. And he was, verbally abusive to me. And by the time I was 8 or 9 years old, I was reacting. He'd go up on me at the dinner table, and I'd fucking throw the whole table over when I stormed out of the room. And it's like, hey, you're gonna ruin my dinner, I'm gonna ruin everybody's. So they started doping me. Instead of listening to my gender complaint, they started doping me at 8. And they won't admit to any of that. Today he says I'm deluded. Yeah, I've tried, Joe. It's on him at this point, both of them. Now, I got their numbers. They won't even talk to me on the phone. My brother either, or my sister, none of them. It's cognitive dissonance. That's a Dunning-Kruger thing. They built a whole reality based on lies. And here I've been real all of my life with them, and they can't admit it today. So they just cut me out. But what they fail to realize is that we're all one, and we are linked. The spirit follows the flesh. We are a family that has been on this planet for a long, long time. And they fucked up. Have you seen the arguments that they're having about the estate? This is the Jean and Joan Wasserberg estate. It's not my father's money that he's passing on. It's money that came to them from their parents to start their marriage and their family. You dig the difference? And here I am, the second child, and in a tribal situation, I'm the one that's responsible for carrying on the family's oral tradition. It's not on me to carry on the family's blood. It's on me to be the warrior priestess. And they should be, they should see to my comfort at least. And they pulled that out from underneath me 5 years ago, and it has been nothing but nastiness since. I mean, they are obligated as clan elders to see to it that I'm taken care of, and they never have. At least the government pays my overhead. The family is the one that should be paying my overhead. We're the descendants of Moses and Aaron.
I never got a lot of religious education. I'll be honest, I don't know what that means.
Moses is the one that received the law. Are you familiar with the miracle at Sinai and the Ten Commandments and how all that came to be?
I know. I know Moses got the Ten Commandments.
Right, so Aaron was his brother. And there's this whole magic show that they put on with the Ark and shit that brings the star people. That's a Stargate. It enables the star people to come and manifest in the flesh. Here, it's a transporter sort of thing. Moses' son was Gershom, and that's my father's family. And Aaron's son was Cohen, which is my mother's family. And my parents, even though by the time my grandparents came along, they had lost the knowledge of, the tribal protocols. They still sort of, my father's father, sort of made a deal with they pushed my parents together. Um, and
Marriage?
huh? Semi.
Arranged marriage?
Yeah. I'm not sure how they pulled it off. My mother was dating my father's best friend, and next thing you know, zip zop, they're together getting married.
Yeah.
But no, the story from my grandfather or some told me something about something like that once when I was real little. I don't remember what it was. But something about how, yeah, we wanted he and my other grandfather wanted them to get married, and they did something to get Bunny away from Joan. And Joan, my mother told me that she, when in high school, she thought my father was a jerk. She should have ridden with it. Her sister used to call him the pompous ass. But to try, listen to go. This is good shit. Have you ever heard of John Trudell?
The name sounds a little familiar, but I can't.
Poet, musician. He's one of the original Aimsters, American Indian Movement guy. Go listen to some of his shit. I'll send you a friend request at Facebook and tune you into some of this stuff. So the native spirituality is where it's at, dude. What the Native Americans have preserved in their way of life is where it's at. It's so when if you're to study the proto Jew and try and imagine their life from what you read in the Book of Genesis, you it's what the Native Americans are. The parallels are unmistakable. Look at open the book to Genesis and read those first commandments about being fruitful and multiplying and replenishing the earth, having dominion over the creatures, the herbs, the plants are your food and your medicine. It's right there in the first lines of Genesis, and that's the Native American medicine way. And Trudell is someone of my generation. In the 50s and 60s, people were starting to wake up and say, hey, wait a minute, this egalitarian way of life of the natives is sustainable, and the industrialized fascism, industrial fascism is not. It's alien to this planet. We need to get rid of it and go back to that egalitarian, close to the earth way of life. Smaller communities. Lower power for, we don't need 110 volts to run our shit. That's ridiculous. We should burning the oil. That's even more stupid. That's suicidal. That's got to stop. And anybody who tries to make excuses for global warming being bullshit and yada yada, the petrochemical energy industry is not sustainable. It is killing the human race. We will be dead within 100 years if they do not change their evil ways.
Well, I guess I'm a right-wing at job, so.
Well, I would really recommend that you tune into what's happening at the Sacred Stone Camp. Just go sacredstonecamp.org. It is unprecedented what's going on there. There has never been such a collection, a gathering in solidarity of so many different nations. Nothing even comes close to comparing to what's going on there now, except for the mass, the ramp up for the Battle of Bighorn. It's the only thing that can compare. And there's got to be at least 3 times as many nations that have assembled at Cannonball than they did at Bighorn.
Is that people assembling to block the pipeline?
Right.
Yeah, I saw that on some.
Yeah, well, they've got it throttled down as tight as they possibly can on the majors. There's some local affiliates are getting some news out as far as, the big networks, but hardly anybody's doing anything. RT and BBC have hardly even covered it. But at least they did. But you know that the petrochemical industry is destroying the environment everywhere that it is. Um, they all them pipes are leaking. You should see them. Have you ever looked at the mess real close up around the fields in Alberta or Nigeria?
Wow. Yeah, I've seen the leaky pipes. Even Alabama had a leaky pipe.
They spewed into like the Kickapoo River up in Michigan and got into Lake Michigan. There was a small leak that happened right on the lakefront in Chicago when somebody's containment unit blew. It's not sustainable, Joe. I mean, do you anybody with any sense is going to be promoting the um, gearing back of the petrochemical, the non-renewable, the nuclear is dangerous. You know, we've had an extinction event. You know, they don't even have that fucking pile at Fukushima contained yet. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know. It's still leaking.
It's not contained at all. It's leaking millions of gallons of contaminated water into the ocean every fucking day. And every single one of the nuke plants, in the states has problems. They need to shut that shit all down. We need to get, you know, a lot of those plants can easily be converted to hydro. Anything close enough to the ocean, all you got to do is run pipes over the side, and the ocean will run the water through the dynamos all by itself.
I mean, I'm all for clean, renewable energy. I don't know if the technology is there enough.
No, it is. It is. It is. The price of solar's come way down. Lots of countries are reporting that they're converting, and their conversions, you know, instead of sitting there questioning it the way you right wingers are doing it, the other countries have gone and implemented it. And like Germany's got well over half of their energy is coming from renewable sources. Then I'll get you some links. There's some good shit. It's time to stop being skeptical and get behind shutting, because they're killing us. We need to shut down the nukes and the petrochemical, leave that shit in the ground, and start doing it the way they're, you know, all these. We need to promote these renewable sources, not question them. The more we do them, you know, it's, you know about Moore's law, right? Right. The more we do it, the more the cost comes down. So and that's been the problem. It's the only reason it hasn't happened. They've had the technology. I mean, look at what they suppressed. 1806. Michael Faraday discovered that if you make a coil a certain way and set it in motion inside the Earth's magnetic field, it is going to draw more energy from the field than it needs to stay spinning. This was 1806. You know, and here's Tesla come along with technology that can just pull electricity right out of the atmosphere. And they were going to back them. Carnegie was going to back them, but then they realized that if they did, all they were going to sell was these cheap antennas. So they backed Edison so they could keep everybody wired up to it. No, yeah, it's almost a half hour, Joe. I think this is a really excellent call as far as, you know, relations between true name networkers and anonymous networkers, because that's really the core of the issue in the cyberbullying complaint. You know, here we are, artists and educators, trying to do our thing, getting totally fucking wasted by all these idiots. So thanks for calling and worrying about my health, man. God bless you. I hope yours is. I'll put up a special sing along with Debbie for you, man. I appreciate it. Happy day, man. God bless. Well, that's interesting. That's Joe DiBiase, known as BirdOPrey. He's the owner of Joe's Ultimate Off-Topic Jeep Junkyard. Bunch of rednecks that own Jeeps. And he's does the he does the coding for anti-chlorate at another message board. He's wheelchair bound because of some malpractice that occurred when he went in for pancreatitis. And they screwed him on being able to, you hear it. Anyway, thanks, Joe. God bless, man. Because Joe is probably my best witness in my case against Daddy Chlorate. The main case isn't my beef with these people personally. The main case is the idea that here we are, because we're doing business online, we have to expose everything about ourselves, including our bank account numbers somewhere. Here's these anonymous motherfuckers just out to have fun. Who there's sociopaths out there that get their jollies from lighting somebody up. Especially somebody like me who gets colorful when I'm pissed. It's horribly, I fought them for years. You don't feed them trolls, at least not in public. Go at it with them in private, like I do at AMB, or go to their base, like Kiwi Farms. This is fucking idiots. But don't do it around your social networks. Don't fight with those. Just totally shun them. This is the only way to play. And that's plenty for now. Just don't feed the fucking trolls where anybody else can see it. Happy day, folks. Thanks for watching. Bye.